Hey guys, this is Rob from RuinWorks, bringing you our latest release. This is the Town of Shir Proper Guardhouse scene. So this goes along with the rest of the scenes in the Town of Shir Proper series that I've been making. It's been a while since I've gone back to the urban environment, so I thought it'd be good to do one of these once in a while. So here this month we have the Guardhouse. It features a 4-level scene, the main feature being this big red building in the middle here called the Guardhouse. It's meant to be a type of barracks sort of area where there might be guards stationed outside of the main castle of the city. Going through the levels, we can start off at the roof level, second story, ground floor, and our dungeons or cellars. So this should be a fairly quick video as there's not a lot of complicated things going on. First, just note, roofs are set up, so if you select a token who's on the ground floor, they will see all the roofs show up for them immediately. And number 2, I have set these smoke tiles. They've got a bit of token magic effects on to make them look a bit more realistic. The only issue with them is they're separate tiles, so when you go into a building, you're underneath the roof, but you can still see the smoke tile here. It's not too bad in this building, but in other buildings you may not want them. So in order to get rid of them, if you just go to the roof level, look at your roofs. If you ever see them, you can just double click on them and they'll disappear. And again, you can double click on the chimney essentially for the smoke to come back inside the building, but the smoke is still visible inside. You can just quickly double click it and the smoke will go away. Then if you want the smoke back again, you can just double click on the chimney and it will return. So just a little quality of life function there. This tree is also set as a roof, but I have changed its occlusion mode to be only 25%, so you can still be underneath it and look around. When you go into buildings that are 2 floors or more, I've included interaction points as opposed to level drawings to change levels, so you just double click on them and it'll ask the players will be asked if they want to use the stairs. If they say yes, they will be pulled on top of the interaction point and their elevation will change. And the second stories should all function as expected. And you can use the same interaction points to go down, and it'll just take them down to the next floor. Okay, I'll just run us quickly through the guardhouse itself. Here's the main entrance. It's a double door. First floor consists primarily of the dining hall, as well as the kitchen. So this is an instance where you might not want the smoke to be showing up inside the house, so you can just double click it to have the smokes disappear. There's exits to both the courtyard and stable areas outside. And I'll show you how you can place the wagon in here should you wish at the end of the video. So like I said, there's the dining halls. There's also a back exit up at the top of the building. And then there are stairs to the other floors. So if we take the stairs up, use the interaction point. Yes, take us up into a bit of an office space, lieutenant's chamber, and then also the bunk rooms for the average guards. Heading back down, we'll head into the dungeons, which is where there is a bit of customability in the guardhouse. I'll also note double-clicking any of the torches inside the guardhouse will turn them on. So just a bit of quality of life there. There's also a little privy here on the side. And then we can take our stairs down to the dungeon. So again, we can double click all the torches down here. These ones actually have special tiles built in. And then if we look at the dungeon level itself, you can see all the doors, cell doors open and close. Bit of a drunk tank down here in the bottom right, and up at the top right there are private cells for your more high profile prisoners. If we look up here in the top right cell, you can see there's a secret door as well as a tunnel leading into the dungeon. This is meant to be used as a prison break or prison escape, perhaps. So you can use the transform button to switch between your different options here. This first tunnel bends to the left and will exit, provide a hole in the floor of one of the buildings just north of the guardhouse. I'll show you that in a second. If you hit the transform button, you can have no tunnel built into the dungeon. This could be your first visit to the dungeon. Players, there has not been an escape yet. So the wall kind of appears solid and there's no option for the secret door. If you hit the transform button again, you can have a different tunnel that would lead under the city walls to another scene. And then you can see the secret door has shown up when it is selected. This option is selected, so you can hit the secret door and have a hole in the wall appear. Closing the secret door will seal the hole back up, so perhaps these are removable stones that somebody can slide in and out of place. And then lastly, we have this curved tunnel instead, which I said will lead up into a building. So I'll just go back to the regular tunnel, which leads to another scene outside the city walls. If you go up to the ground story and look at House B, which I've labeled here, House B, there is no hole in the floor. Looks like a completely normal building. If you go back down to the dungeon now, hit the transform button so that the tunnel leads underneath that House B, and now go up to the ground floor. You can see there's a hole in the floor and an interaction point, and in fact, if you take your token there into the main floor, if your players were to ever come across this room, they would see the interaction point, they could double click it and be asked if they want to jump down the hole. If they say yes, they descend into this tunnel, which leads into the guardhouse. So that's kind of how this was meant to be used, as an escapee or a prison breakout. So that was the kind of the idea behind this dungeon level. What I'm going to do now is just run through the rest of the scene with the token